Hello, everyone, and welcome to Soundtrack Scramble, the panel of real-time music arrangement mayhem. Today we have 6 amazing and inspiring composers here that are going to be randomly assigned a piece of famous video game music on the spot. They will then have about 40 minutes-ish to rearrange that piece so that it fits a completely different emotion or feeling that they have also been randomly assigned. But before we get started, just a couple of quick housekeeping bits. This panel is being pre-recorded. However, most, if not all of us, will be in the chat while it's airing so that we can answer questions and chat with you all. So be on the lookout for us there. And now, before I have each of the panelists introduce themselves, I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Josh Altman. I use he, him pronouns, and I am a co-founder of a small game studio called Digital Daydream. According to Spotify, my most listened genre of music this year is video game soundtrack music. And as such, I feel truly honored to be sharing a virtual stage with each of these composers. So let me hand it on over to them. I'll just go in order of how you've appeared on my Zoom screen. So let's start with Hassan.
Hi, I'm Hassan Durant. I'm a composer out of North Carolina. I have been listening to Louis Cole all day to prepare for this. Yeah, super excited to get started.
Awesome. Laryssa?
Hi, my name is Laryssa Okada. I am excited to write spoopy music.
Priscilla?
Hi, I'm Priscilla Snow. I'm a composer and sound designer, and currently based out of Seattle, but in about like handful of days, I don't want to count them, I'll be based in Montreal. So I've got a lot of boxes behind me right now. So
Awesome. Joshua?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Joshua here. Yeah, I'm just like everyone here. I'm a music composer, sound designer. I'm also based in North Carolina as well. So excited to be here and hanging out with everyone.
Awesome. Lena?
Hi, I'm Lena Raine, composer. I'm based in Seattle, so also with Priscilla until she moves. But yeah, just composing.
Awesome. Andrew?
Hi, my name is Andrew Prahlow. I'm based in Los Angeles, California.
Awesome. Cool. So for the audience out there, how it's going to work, we're going to go down the line in the order that you introduced yourselves, I suppose. And for each of you, we're going to spin the wheel of music, and you'll get your randomly assigned game music. We already took care of randomly assigning musical feelings to each of the panelists beforehand. That way they could go ahead and set up their workstations ahead of time. And as soon as your music has been picked, you can go ahead and start composing. After we've picked everyone's music, I will start going around and checking in with each panelist, and we'll ask about the process of how rearranging something like this would go. And then after about 40-ish minutes, we'll come together and show everyone's final product, and we'll wrap up with a few thank yous and closing notes. So let's get started with the wheel of music. Okay, here we go. The wheel of music. I'm just going to go again in the order that y'all are appearing on my screen. So let's start with Hassan. I'm going to spin the wheel for you, and that will be your theme. Here we go. I'm so excited.
Oh,
yes!
Nice.
Winning already, man.
I know.
the best theme.
Right off the bat, we shop music. Hassan, you were assigned the musical feeling of funky or sexy, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yes, or both. Could be
Or
both.
both. So we will be hearing some funky or sexy We Shop music. Incredibly exciting. If you want to go ahead and get started, you are more than welcome to.
Right.
Next on my screen, I see Laryssa. Laryssa, you are up.
Yay!
Yay!
love Kirby.
That's very exciting. Laryssa, I think you had Spoopy
Yes.
for your assigned feelings, so we're going to hear some Spoopy Kirby Gourmet Race, which is also incredibly exciting. So next in the order, we have Priscilla. Priscilla, your theme was triumphant and inspirational. Is that correct?
Yes. Mhm.
Awesome. Let's see what happens. Oh, looks like some Super Mario 64.
Hey.
Bomb on Battlefield.
Okay.
Bomb on Battlefield, but triumphant or inspirational. Is that good, or you think that's too close?
I am not like super familiar with the song, so I would defer to someone who is more familiar with it.
I think triumphant. I think it works because the original is really just like funky and goofy, so I think that totally works.
Cool.
Let's go with it. Triumphant, Bomb on Battlefield.
Yep.
Alrighty. Next, I have Joshua. Joshua, I believe you had Big and Loud. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. What music are we going to hear big and loud? Legend of Zelda Overworld.
Interesting. Okay.
Interesting. Okay, cool,
All right.
cool. Can do. Do you accept this challenge?
Yeah, I'm not entirely familiar with it. I mean, I'm familiar with Legend of Zelda, but not that particular theme. So, I mean,
It's actually
like-
already pretty big and loud. I think I might vote that we re-roll if you're good with that.
that's fine with me. I mean,
Let's re-roll that.
okay.
Which Final Fantasy theme is this? One-Winged Angel.
I know that one, and yeah, well, yeah, that one's big and loud.
That one's also big and loud. One more re-roll. The wheel wants all the big and loud songs.
Okay, I have to clap like Wheel of Fortune anytime.
Yeah,
this
right?
goes.
We got Megalovania again. Okay.
Okay.
Vampire Killer.
I'm not familiar
That one
with
can
this
be bigger and louder. While it's
Okay.
already a little big and loud, at least the original one that I have in my mind, I think that melody can be bigger and louder.
Roger
Get
that.
bigger.
Roger that.
Let's do it. Alrighty. Castlevania Vampire Killer, but bigger and louder. Lena, let's
Okay.
do, I believe you had Solemn. Is that correct?
Solemn, yeah.
Solemn.
Very, very sad.
Tetris.
Very depressing. Oh, okay. It's gonna be the most depressing Tetris thing you've ever heard.
It's going to be a very introspective Tetris. We'll see what happens. That's very exciting. Alrighty. Solemn Tetris. And Andrew, remind me which feeling you had.
Nostalgic.
Nostalgic. Fascinating. What nostalgic version of something are we going to hear? Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. All right.
Animal Crossing. Is that already too nostalgic, you think? It's a little nostalgic. Are you familiar with that theme?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? You want to take that on, or do you want to try to make that more nostalgic, or do you want a different one?
I'll go for it. I love Animal Crossing.
Awesome. Cool. We'll hear an even more nostalgic New Horizons theme. Go for it. Okay. So now I think we're going to go back around the circle and start checking in with some folks. We'll start with Hassan, even though not very much time has elapsed, but we'll see if maybe Hassan has any ideas of what they might be doing so far. So, what are your thoughts here? Remind me of your combination.
So I'm doing funky and or sexy, and the theme is the Wii Shop theme. Sort of just getting started, but I already feel like maybe I'll pick up the tempo a little bit, and I'm thinking of maybe a Latin bass rhythm with
Okay.
some funk percussion, or maybe the other way around. I'm still trying stuff out.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I'm going to let you start digging into that, and I'm going to move around the rotation a little bit.
Hello.
Hello there. If you wouldn't mind sharing your screen real quick.
Sure.
So remind me of your combination real quick.
I'll talk over here, I guess. I got Kirby. So the main Kirby theme with spooky.
It's spooky music.
Spooky.
It's already sounding pretty darn spooky.
Yeah.
I love it. So what are some of the thoughts that you're having? It definitely seems like you're maybe using some instrument and some voice choices to make it feel spooky. What are some other things that you think you're going to use to try to make it feel spooky?
I don't want it to get like too heavy and slow. I still want to add in some funny beats to make it a little bit more comically spooky.
Nice. Some
But-
cartoon spooky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Kirby fun.
Kirby fun. Heck yeah. What are those instruments that you've got going on there already? It sounded like some mallet type percussion instruments.
Yeah, I always like to like start with a pad or some kind of ambience to set the tone so I can feel it more. And then I thought like a music box from Spitfire.
Music box.
Like I'm using augmented chords to invert the intervals. Theory.
Heck yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And the music box is some classic spooky feel, instant spooky feel to any theme.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, I'll let you continue working and I'll be back in the rotation in just a little bit.
Okay.
So remind me of your combination again.
Yes, I've got Bop-'em Battlefield from the Nintendo 64.
Nice.
And I'm making it triumphant and inspirational. So,
Inspirational.
Right. I
Cool.
just brought a copy of the kind of top line into the strings, and what I'm going to do is kind of like delete most of this and start expanding it.
Sure.
And make it very dramatic. I want it to be very like heavy and full, and I want it to kind of start slow and build, so it's got that big,
Ooh,
like triumphant, like
cool.
it
So
goes-
even an increase in tempo, maybe?
possibly, yeah.
Cool.
I'm considering it. I want to do lay down some pads and strings, and then start to like bring in a little bit of percussion, maybe some timpani and orchestra hits, and do
Some
that.
classic,
Yeah, hurrah.
maybe March heroic kind of feeling.
Yeah, and kind of I'd like to see how cinematic I can get it, basically.
Nice.
Let's see if I can
Heck
take
yeah.
this like jaunty little player piano sounding thing to
We're gonna hear a triumphant inspirational version
yeah,
of
like
some.
something that would fit in the timely Snyder cut or something. Who knows? We'll see. We replace it with this.
Awesome.
Anyway, yeah, we'll see where I get, but that's the goal.
Heck yeah. Great. Well, I'll let you keep working and I will be back in just a little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. Would you remind me which combination that you had?
So I've got Somber and the Tetris theme.
Somber Tetris theme. I'm so
Yeah.
excited. So tell me about what, if you have any ideas flowing, what the general idea is going to be.
So I kind of came preloaded with a bit of a palette for Somber. I've got sort of, the dark and sort of emotional piano stuff going on that I tend to like to write in. And then I also have an English horn and some synth stuff that I'm just kind of playing around with. So
Fantastic.
I started just kind of by noodling around with English horn, just kind of playing the melody, and it kind of like turned into this kind of cool intro. And then it kind of leads into a bit more of a piano thing that I'm going to segue out of in a sec.
Nice.
Should I play?
That's
some?
awesome. If you wouldn't mind, that would be great.
For sure. Oops, let me turn off my click here.
That's fantastic. Wow. Fantastic.
I'm going to fast forward a little bit here.
Oh,
It's kind of, it's a basic step to start. But,
fantastic. Some stark piano with some lush chords underneath.
Yeah, the blocks are falling real slow, like tears in the rain.
Like the slight offset of some of the octaves to give that teardrop kind of feel.
Oh yeah, I might get some synths in there too. See what's happening.
That's fantastic. That's very exciting. Oh, I can't wait to hear more. I will be back in a little bit to hear some more.
All right, can you see me?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, will you remind me real quick before you start playing some stuff what your combination was?
Nostalgic Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Nostalgic Animal Crossing New Horizons. Fantastic. So what? How are you going to translate the New Horizons theme into something even more nostalgic?
First I started building textures, then I reharmonized it first, and now I'm adding like recording a bunch of trumpets, and then I'm gonna probably go back through and I'm gonna start layering now and like get the full theme laid out. Am I supposed to show what I have so far, or?
If you'd like to, absolutely.
Sure, yeah.
If you want to just give us some highlights maybe of some different ideas that are in there.
Sure, yeah. Let's see.
Awesome.
That's pretty much where I have it going so far. And then I gotta just like kind of bring in the melody.
Nice. Heck yeah. So it sounds like you've laid out a very nostalgic is a good word for it. A kind of texture with, is it mostly trumpet there? That's like some reverb trumpet that's kind of laying out that.
Yeah, I have like a bunch of trumpet recordings I just made really quick. And then everything else is just like guitar, and I'm just kind of looping stuff as quick as possible right now to get it done as quick as possible.
Heck yeah. As soon as those chords hit, you can definitely get the nostalgic feel.
Cool. Yeah, I'm doing the trumpet as a round, like as a canon. So that's probably how I'll continue. I just have to figure out the best way to go about it. And then maybe
Nice.
I'll kind of have a build towards the end. Well, I'm not sure yet. It kind of depends on how far I get.
Sure. Heck yeah. All right. So progress. What kind of changes have you made?
So the tempo is definitely faster. So I just like play.
Absolutely. Show us some stuff. Wow, that is definitely some funkier versions of the Wii channel music, or the Wii shop channel music. That is fantastic. Can you tell me a little bit about what you did there?
Sure. First off, definitely made it faster. I started off with a Latin style groove in the bass, and then adding like syncopated stabs, like it's pretty common in funk type music. So here,
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like little things like that,
Yeah.
just to make it a little spicier. Yeah, and then of course adding saxophones, because saxophones always make things both sexier and funkier.
Accomplishing both at the same time.
Yeah.
Amazing. Fantastic. And what did you have going on in the percussion there? Was there a little bit of percussion, or was I imagining that?
Yeah, so I've got some shakers going. Then also just a very basic funk type rhythm. I'll probably end up relying on some pre-made rhythms because I'm bad at doing drums quickly, but just to get
Speed
something in
is
there
the
for
game.
now.
Whatever gets it done, right? Fantastic. That's definitely some progress on the funk.
Should really make this small.
All right, so last time we had some general melody laid out and some in general spooky pads going, just laying out the spooky feel. What kind of ideas do you have flowing now?
I took it a little longer. I still want to go with funny, but it's turning into a little bit more serious than I wanted. But
It's turning darker.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need a counter melody. Something like that, but like inserted earlier. Like,
Nice.
quantize. But yeah, I need a counter melody.
What makes you think that you need that counter melody? Is it just when you hear the melody, you feel like there needs to be something interacting with it? What makes you think that?
Yeah, it's a little too, like when you're tiptoeing through a spooky castle, there's got to be like unexpected elements, in my opinion, that pop out and are like, boo, but the counter melody would have that kind of vibe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. One thing that I like that also accomplishes that same kind of thing you just mentioned, the constant changing of the instruments, the trading of the melody through the different instruments there at the end. Yeah, I like that that honestly evoked the visual of like walking through a haunted house where this thing pops out first and then something else pops out from the other side with the different changing of the like timbres of the different instruments. That's really awesome. It sounds like you've in addition to the music box, you had some like some woodwinds. Were there some woodwinds in there?
Yeah, I want to incorporate them sooner. I feel like it really grounds stuff. Yeah, so it starts with the music box with the melody, just a short kind of pre-statement of it, and then I take it into the xylophone with the harp, and then the music box takes over from the xylo, and then yeah, and then it goes into flute and clarinet, supported by the tuba.
Awesome tuba, fantastic.
Yeah.
Lots of winds in there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Awesome. Well,
thanks.
I will be looking forward to hearing more soon. How's it going? Do you feel like you're making some progress on some triumphant Super Mario 64 music?
I'm still in the slow start. So.
No worries. Nice.
I like this synth as a starting point.
Nice.
So I'm trying to build up some atmosphere. I haven't even listened to that. I just put it there. I want to slowly kind of bring in the like second little piece there. I still need to like stretch it and like apply a better instrument there. But
sure. It sounds like you're bringing in some kind of darker elements, I guess would be a word for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to mellow out the player piano vibe.
Yeah, sure. Any way you can counter the player piano vibe.
Yeah. And once I get this like intro here, I'm gonna come in with like some percussion, and then try to hopefully then kind of like bring the tempo up a little bit and kind of like bring it back up and maybe make it, inspirational.
Heck yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Cool. Well, thank you. We'll check in again soon. My mic has been slowly falling. I'm noticing myself slowly hunching. Awesome. Sounds great. Cool. So remind us all real quick what your combination was.
Okay, so my combination is Big and Loud with Castlevania Vampire Killer.
For Vampire Killer, right? Nice.
Yeah.
So walk me through what your kind of general idea was, how you turn in Vampire Killer into something that's even bigger and louder.
Well, I mean, when I first listened to it, it sounded like a boss theme. It had some very powerful chord progressions going on.
Sure.
So I started with the piano, just to solo that real quick, and just did something really basic. I'm kind of extending the first half of the melody, because like a lot of 16-bit music, it kind of it changes really fast, and I felt like if I stayed on there, it would be a little, just be kind of cool. So so this is what the piano's doing so far. So nothing,
awesome.
Nothing
really
crazy.
Sets the chord progression, sets it in our ears, what key we're in, that kind of thing.
Right, exactly. Like I said, it's very strong. So essentially what I've done, I mean, do you want me to like play the whole thing, or how do you? I don't
totally
know
up to you.
format.
Yeah, just show us what ideas you've got laid out, and we'll go along for the ride.
Okay. So what I've done so far is I've added choir and strings. I'm playing around with some ideas right now, but this is what I have so far.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. So again,
Heck
still
yeah.
playing with stuff. So I wanted
That's
something,
awesome.
you know, big and loud, right?
Sure. Yeah. So you're definitely, obviously you're using some a palette of instruments that immediately evoke just big and epic and loud, right? With the
Yeah.
choir that you've got there, the drum set immediately just kind of drives home that kind of rock feel, right?
Oh man, if I had the time, oh my gosh. But yeah. I mean, it's Castlevania. Castlevania is it's a big, dark, epic fantasy kind of scenario. So I wanted to encapsulate that as much as possible, you know, capture that. So I mean, everything is like that was like super messy because I haven't cleaned anything. But you know, this is a blitz. So what are you
It's
gonna
already
do, right?
sounding great. And a blitz it is. And it sounds great. I'm looking forward to hearing some more. I'll be back in just a little bit to check in.
Roger that.
Adding a little bit more to it here.
That's a lot more layers. Wow. Cool.
A few. So I've started kind of kept the arrangement going with a piano part and added some sort of synth parts going here. There's actually a electric piano. I've kind of applied a lot of effects to.
Cool.
And then some little cymbal roll. A little synth kind of flare thing.
Nice. Plenty of reverb and echo.
Yeah. And then add a little sort of counter melody here with the English horn.
Oh, fantastic.
Twist.
Ooh. Ooh. A little change up.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Would anything in particular inspire you for the little change up there, or did you just want to mix up the chords a little bit?
I like messing things up, but I get bored if it's, you know, too predictable. So I just like to kind of mess it up a little bit and kind of see where the chords want to go. So
Heck yeah.
yeah, I got that sort of like intrigue, kind of, you know, an emotional journey, you know, and you're not just sitting in one place for too long.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like that there's because the melody is so elongated, there's all this space that each kind of gesture sits on that's very, very somber.
Yeah, it's you know, it's that very much, you know, kind of sink into those feelings for a bit. And so each, you know, if it's a melody that has like a lot of long notes, like you really get a chance to kind of play around those notes and do some interesting things. So in this case, it's got a lot of texture.
Absolutely.
It's going to keep layering into that. And yeah, it's already a minute long, which is kind of ridiculous because it's a slow emotional piece. So I'm just going to kind of build up the emotion a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to like get too many more, you know, parts of the melody going, but
sure, not too many more iterations.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, are you adding? There's lots of reverb going on in there. Are you applying separate bits of reverb to the particular instruments, or are you kind of doing a reverb on the master track? Or
everyone's got their own reverb. I've got, you know, Valhalla is sort of my go-to reverb, but some of them are copied across. Like I copied the piano and English horn, but if I wanted to adjust them individually, like I could do that.
Nice.
Like the you can see the mix is all the way at the top here. So like for this part here, it's just really far back there, just kind of almost just becomes a synth. It's an electric piano, but it's got like a lot of effects and stuff, and just kind of sitting way back there. And the one thing I'm going to do is actually go back in and add some more reverb to the cymbal roll, which is just, you know, a pretty simple dry thing, but I really want to let it take up all the space.
Sure. Add into that crescendo there. Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. Well,
Cool.
Thank you. We'll be back again very soon. Oh, there you are. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
So tell us about your progress on a even more nostalgic Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Cool. I started adding the full melody, also as a canon, and kind of been trying to bring it out so it's not super ambient. So I have it here's where I have it at right now. So I just kind of have it going in the background with some voices and then piano. I'm just kind of trying to get the mix right now.
Fantastic. Heck yeah. So you, it sounds like lots of layers of vocal in there that are doing the melody along with maybe a pad underneath as well. You filling out the chord with the voices as well?
Yeah. I just have a lot of, the pad is kind of the trumpets. I just have a ton of delay on the trumpets right now. So it turns into over time and kind of swells back down and then back up.
Cool. And what is the, is that some kind of synth that almost sounds like a kind of digital effect that is happening over top? It's almost reminiscent of like a rewind effect at some moments.
Oh, that's like all guitar.
It's all guitar. Nice.
I have kind of everything going into my Kemper right now. So I just was looping a bunch of stuff way at the beginning of the session. Nice. Kind of build a basis to what this will be.
The texture is so thick, and because the melody is slowed down a little bit, that definitely helps. Mm-hmm. It reminds me of like a dream sequence almost. Yeah. Like as if you were like remembering something from your childhood in that kind of nostalgic way. Yeah, cool. That's really fantastic. Cool. Well, yeah, I think we're going to go for I'm probably going to make just one more round. Hassan?
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you? And how is the funkiness coming?
It is coming. It kind of turned into jazz in the second half. They're related. Love it. So here's what I have so far. I'm trying to work on the B section, but here's what I have so far.
Ooh. Okay, changing it up.
That's where we are now.
Heck yeah. Tell me a little bit about what you did there right at the end when it changes up a bit. What was your thought process there?
My thought process was that I wanted an exciting way to lead back into the A section. And just honestly, this is going to be very disappointing. That just popped into my head.
An exciting way indeed. Some quick changes out of nowhere. I love the sounds like you had the melody changed to a different voice for the kind of, I guess you would call it a B section question mark. Nice.
I used a Mellotron-ish sounding flute. Very famous instrument that's way more expensive than I can actually access. So synthesizers are the next best thing.
Fantastic. And was there a change in the kind of bass groove going on down there again? Would you play that B section again?
Yeah, it's still rough, but just to give a different sort of rhythmic vibe.
Fantastic. Well, we're getting towards wrapping up here.
How much longer do you think?
I'm probably gonna finish up this round of talking, and then we'll do some presentations.
Cool. Sounds good.
Awesome. We're back to Spooky Kirby.
Yeah.
Would you mind sharing your screen and we can go through with some last bits that you might have added?
Sure. Yeah, the time really flies by.
I can imagine. Y'all are killing it.
It's fun though, yeah.
I'm glad. So tell me where your head's at. What are some of the things you've been aiming to do here, and what are you trying to accomplish?
So I just added a bunch of string layers. I can hear someone singing.
Oh, I think that might be Hassan. I'm gonna mute Hassan.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, I basically use this.
You're saying?
Oh no, I just use strings as counter melody support and stuff.
Got the counter melody in there. Cool.
Yeah.
Can you play the counter melody for us?
Sure. It like helps move things along too to have like staccato eighth notes.
Heck yeah. Oh, that is fantastic.
Yeah, thanks.
Wow. So the kind of the rhythms going on there in the bottom really create a more driving feel that I don't think I noticed last time. It's really driving forward there now.
Yeah, before it was just kind of like sitting and soup, and now we need to like push it along.
Nice. What's your thought process now? What are you aiming to achieve, and how are you going to do that?
I want to finish out some, like, at least through the body of the harp and xylo, like this section. I know how to use Cubase. This section. I want to at least flesh out the strings that last couple measures. And then I guess I'll just like check levels and make sure things are balanced and add in as much as I can before the time's out.
Awesome. Exciting stuff.
Hello.
Hello. I am so excited. We are on our final round here now, I think. How are you feeling about Triumphant Inspirational Bomb on Battlefield?
I'm not feeling particularly triumphant or inspirational.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm excited to hear it though. Would you mind sharing your screen?
Yeah. Get that. Okay, there we go. Yep.
Awesome.
So I've started changing some stuff around. Started to get some timpani in there. Now I'm trying to figure out the this and not being super fruitful with it.
I'm feeling pretty inspired. It reminds me of the kind of texture that's being laid out there. Makes me think of like the sun coming up, if that makes any sense. Like
Right?
it's the beginning of some movie, and a dramatic scene has been set, and something big's about to happen. Something big and inspirational, perhaps.
Yeah, there's like I'm trying to find a particular sound to get like a good transition in there.
Sure.
Yeah, I like the kind of like wideness of it at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I like the combination of those sounds. I'm struggling to find good percussion that I like on here. And I'm trying to bring in that like next little bit where it kind of takes it from it kind of goes from this bit where it's so that's this little part. I'm trying to bring this in so that I can get to this.
Nice. That little.
So I want to just bring in a little bit of that.
Sure.
And I may end up using a little piano to bring it in, just to cut through some of the like pads and like kind of fuller sounds. We'll see.
Cool. Heck yeah. That's super exciting. Awesome. Well, I am excited to see the final product in just a little bit.
Bye. Hello?
Hello there.
Hey,
How goes it?
It goes, sir.
Would you mind sharing your screen and telling us what all you have been doing with making the vampire killer theme even bigger and louder?
Well, I'm trying to add some more elements in. I just added a bass line and it's repeating. I mean, kind of short on time, so I wanted to do as much as I could in a short span of time. So I actually lowered the tempo because I didn't feel like it was impactful enough the way that it was. So I've added a bass line here, and yeah, this is what I have so far.
Cool.
You ready? Sorry.
Let's do it.
Sure. Okay, here we go.
That's awesome. That I think that that bass line is new, right? I don't remember hearing that the bass line last
just added that in. Right when you said Joshua, you're up next.
That definitely hits that drives it forward, no question, right? Was your intent with the bass line to try to keep it feeling like it's moving forward?
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to give it another element of movement. Yeah, like I want to get some. I mean, there's already some harmonic stuff going on in here, but I think the next thing I'm going to do is add a little piano stuff to it.
Cool. What's your goal with the piano there? What's your thought with the piano?
So like essentially it has this, you know, has that sort of thing going on. So I wanted to add like something like that, you know, to kind of give it some extra, you know, of course I'll
filling out the chords, giving it some more oomph.
Yeah, just a little, you know, something, you know, I felt like it to get that those initial chords, the, you know, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to get the power, right? The thing that makes it big and loud.
Heck yeah.
I'm trying to get that in there.
Awesome.
All right, we're back in it.
Nice.
Save here live.
All right, last one. What is going on here?
So I added some more stuff.
More stuff.
I decided it needed a beat and a bass. So
heck yeah.
So basically, I just kind of this is fun. Thing that I like to do. I realized that I was basically like writing the like Celeste Resurrections version of the Tetris theme because it just kind of ended up sounding that way. So just like, sure, you can just put a slowed down breakbeat in here or whatever. So like this loop, I think this is kind of the bass loop. It doesn't sound like that anymore. Got a little glitchy fun stuff in there, kind of bouncing all over the place. So when the English horn is done here, it kind of goes right into that.
It jumps right in.
And then I put a little Prophet bass in here, kind of just give it a little bit of a sub bass.
Yeah, those little murmurs from down below.
And a little reverse thing. A little spice.
Fantastic.
Gives you one
awesome.
More.
Well, heck yeah. I think we're about to wrap up. If you want to put on a couple finishing touches, I'm going to chat with Andrew and we'll all present.
Great. Sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello there.
Can you hear me?
I can indeed. Would you like to give me a final wrap up before we start working on presentations?
Oh, sure. I just kind of spent most of it mastering it and getting the mix sounding better.
Nice.
And trying to get rid of a lot of the high-end hiss on some of the mics. And then I have it go into like this ending section now with so there's like the part I've been shown before. Can you hear it?
Yes.
And then it kind of goes into like this outro thing.
Awesome.
Pretty much what
Heck
I have
yeah.
now.
A nice little a kind of lulled fade out. That's really nice.
Thanks.
Heck yeah. And so I saw that it sounds like towards the end there, was that Was that the same melody from the beginning coming back in at the end there?
Yeah,
Kind of like reprise.
Yeah, I brought in the first 4 notes. Or I guess like the first 8 notes of the New Horizons theme.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I'm going to step out now and give y'all like another couple of minutes to kind of wrap up and just prepare to present. And then we'll all get back in the chat and do some presenting. I think, are we all ready? Are we all back and ready?
Andrew looks like he's in the zone.
Oh, I'm here.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I guess let's go from the top then. We'll do the same order. We'll have you just present. You can narrate for us if you like. The audio does tend to pick up better if while it's playing, you let it just play through without narration. But if on the beginning and end you want to add some commentary, please do so. So Hassan, would you like to start us off with the funky Wii Shop music?
Yeah. I'll just play it first.
Go for it. Would you mind sharing your screen while you do it as well?
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Digging that Mellotron
That is
lead. So
great.
good.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Yeah, so that was Wii Shop channel, but a little bit faster, a little bit more percussion. Like someone pointed out, Mellotron, I tried to add that in there. Just like a lot of little rhythmic touches to just bump it up a notch in the funkiness factor. I tried out something on a clav, but it didn't sound right. But if I had, then it would have been ultimate funk.
Fantastic. That is really, really awesome. Well done. Well done. Really fantastic. And that is funky Wii Shop channel music. It has been done. Don't say it hasn't. All righty. Let's go down the list. Laryssa, would you mind sharing your screen?
Got the spooky Kirby.
Spooky Kirby. I am so excited.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll let you take it away. Fantastic.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Very spoopy.
That
Really, I'm expecting Kirby to just have a crossover with Luigi's Mansion. Now. Just
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be so good.
Kirby
Also-
swallowed Luigi's Mansion or something and turned into a spooky Kirby.
That'd be cool.
The way that ends makes me think it's like the beginning of an episode of something spooky. It sounds like it's leading into like, now it's time for a spooky Kirby show.
Scooby Doo and Kirby.
Also, Exorcist anime bells? Is
Oh.
that...
It sounds like The Exorcist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
fair.
great.
But also anime.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Spooky Kirby. It has now been done. It has now been done. All right, Priscilla, would you like to share your screen?
So I got inspirational Bob-omb Battlefield. So I tried to take it from like straight up player piano to something a little more fitting. I wish I had like another 40 minutes to work on this, but here we go.
I love it. That's so good. The sun
was
is coming up.
nice.
It's like the movie is starting. The sun is coming up. I am inspired.
The start of a
Awesome,
new,
awesome
beautiful
work.
new day for the bombs.
Yes.
Another day on Bomb Battlefield.
For the battle.
It's the end of the Bob-omb Wars.
Inspirational Bomb Battlefield. It has been done. It has now been done. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Joshua, would you? So for Joshua, we're getting
Okay.
into bigger and louder Castlevania.
Oh,
Vampire
nice.
theme.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. That was actually my first time hearing it, so I was like, all right, how am I gonna do this? All right, so I'll just play it, and I'll talk about it after.
Sure.
My gosh.
Fantastic. Wow.
I wish I had like 40 more minutes. I was like, come on. I just wanted to keep going.
Just going. Yeah. Oh, the choir is so good in that.
Find a way to expand it because like I felt bad because I didn't get that far into the song. I mean, it was probably maybe about like 30 to maybe 40 seconds worth of of a progression, but I was like, I'm not gonna be able to get to that. So here we are.
Fantastic. If you thought Castlevania couldn't be bigger and louder, you've just been proven wrong.
Oh my gosh.
There it is. Fantastic. Lena, would you like to share your screen? Take it away.
I'll just play this and then talk about it after. And this is Tetris theme, but somber and quite sad.
Like
Oh,
Oh.
I love where it ends too. That is fantastic.
It's daring to go on, but I just wanted to focus on polishing up what I had so far. But yeah, kind of accidentally
that it-
made.
Oh, I was gonna say I like that it
Oh, yeah.
feels like sad anime tunes to chill out to. Like it's
Oh yeah, totally.
it's really it's great.
Is there a Tetris anime? There has
Should
to
be. I mean, there's that.
It has to be by now. Like each of the pieces is a character and it's a
yeah.
God, there has-
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm just imagining though, like some girl just like crying in front of a window, and then there's like Tetris pieces slowly falling outside.
where there would be rain on the window.
Tetris raindrops.
Her window disappears.
Oh no. I just started playing it. There we go.
Fantastic. There it is. The new soundtrack for Somber Tetris. Cool. Andrew, would you mind sharing your screen?
All right. I did Animal Crossing New Horizon nostalgic version. Hopefully this isn't. I was having troubles with clipping, so I have it down 60 dB. Hopefully that solves that problem. I'm gonna mute myself before I play it.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Really well done.
I feel like I just watched a dream sequence of when I was playing Animal Crossing.
Calmness out behind the counter, just dreaming.
Slow overhead shot of everyone waving on the island.
And burns.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. If Animal Crossing was not already nostalgic, now it's even more nostalgic. There it is. Fantastic. That wraps up the main chunk of our panel. Just a couple thank yous before we go. Firstly, I would like to thank each of our wonderful panelists. Thank you all for your patience with putting together a panel in a completely remote fashion. And thank you for riding along with this very strange idea. I had a lot of fun. And secondly, thank you to Soren. Soren made this great program called HQ Streamer 2 that we use to make the audio happen for getting the audio back and forth to some of us. And Soren was a great help. Soren personally helped me out in making sure that everything worked. It's a great program and it's free that you can find it online if you just Google the letters HQ and Streamer. It's a great free program for music collabing. And lastly, thank you to the Penny Arcade staff who are putting together the first ever PAX Online, which I imagine is no small task rather. And they've been killing it. They've been incredibly helpful. So thank you to all of them. That concludes the panel. Thank you all for watching and hope y'all are staying safe and y'all have a good one. Thank you.